Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to talk about inheritance in Python, so let's get into it. So inheritance is basically a mechanism that allows you to create classes that inherit functionality from other classes. So for example, if you're creating a new class, and you want to implement some functionality into that class that you've already implemented before into some other class that you created, instead of writing all of that again in the new class, you can just inherit from the other class, and that functionality is going to be available inside of the new class without you having to implement it manually. And the class that inherits is going to be the child class, and the class that is inherited from is going to be the parent or super class. So I have a class called students here, which takes in a name and an age, and then it basically just prints a string representation with that name and that age. So I'm going to create an object of this class, so s1 equals students. His name is going to be Mike, he's going to be 23. Now let me just print this. Oops, not print 23, print s1. Okay, so let me run this, and as you can see, this is going to say Mike age 23. So that's what the students class does. Now I'm going to create another class, which is going to be called courses, so courses, and this class is going to inherit from the students class. Now, for this class to inherit from the students class, you just have to write parentheses and then students, which is the name of the parent class, and I'm not going to do anything yet, I'm just going to pass. And now let me change this from students to courses. And now if I run this, as you can see, oops, I must have, okay, I put a weird character in here. Okay, so as you can see, this is going to output the exact same thing, Mike age 23. And that's because this courses class is inheriting from the students class. So even though I haven't written all of this inside of my courses class, since courses is inheriting from students, all of this functionality is available from inside of the courses class. So when I create an object of the class courses, even though I haven't done anything inside of the class courses, what is going to be called into action is these methods that I created inside of the students class. Okay, so now I'm going to start filling the courses class with its own methods. I'm going to start by the init method, so I'm going to write self, and then I have to write name and age. Even though these parameters are being inherited from the student's class, I still have to write them inside of the init method. And then I have to actually specify that these parameters are being inherited from the init method of the student's class. So to do that, I'm going to write super, and this is going to refer to the super class or the parent class. In this case, going to be students dot double underscore init. So it's going to specify that those parameters are from the init method. And then the parameters that I want to keep are going to be name and age. All done. So now I want to add another parameter to my init method. I'm going to write course, and then down here I'm going to write self dot course is going to equal course. Now I have to add a course to my instance, and that course is going to be Python. Okay, so now if I run this, you can see that S1 still, printing S1 still says Mike age 23. Now I want to define the repr method of the courses class. And I'm going to do that by writing def double underscore repr, repr double underscore, and then self. And I want this to return an f string with the course. So self dot course, like so. And now if I run this, you can see that this is just going to print Python. So as you can observe, when you define a method that has the same name as a method that you've already defined in your parent class inside of your child class, that method is going to overwrite the previous method. So this new method is the one that's going to be called when I print S1 and not the method that I put up here. Now, if you still want this representation, then you would have to come down here and write print students.repr. So you're basically calling the repr method of the students class with s1 as an argument. And now if you run this, you can see that this is going to print Mike age 23, and then it's going to print Python. So Mike age 23 is from this print statement right here. Python is from this print statement right here. And if you define parameters statically, so for example, if you write self.age equals 39, so this is basically predefined, this is also going to override the age parameter that you define in here. So now if I run this, you can see that it's going to say Mike age 39 and not Mike age 23. So that's the basics of how inheritance work. Now you can actually inherit from multiple classes at the same time. So let me create another class, which is going to be class grades. This is going to inherit from students. And let me write define init double underscore. Let's pass in self, name, age, and then I'm going to write super dot double underscore init. So this is basically calling the init method of the super class, which is students, as I explained previously. And I'm going to add a parameter which is going to be grade, and I'm going to write self dot grade equals grades. So this is actually not going to be students, it's going to be courses. I apologize. And let me add a course in there. So let me say course, and in here as well. So like that. Okay, so you can inherit name and age from courses because name and age are inherited from students in courses. So when you inherit name and age, you're actually inheriting from the class that's inheriting these parameters. So I don't know if that was clear, but I tried my best. And now let me just define like some kind of random method, like get grade, like so. Now let me pass in self, and I'm just going to return the string with, I'm just going to return a self.grade. And okay, so now let me change this into grades, and I have to add a grade to my student. It's going to be 89, for example. And now if I run this, oops, let me just call the get grade method. So let me do that, and let me pull this up and run it, and you can see that it's going to print my 39 Python and then the grade, which is going to be 89. Okay, so that's it for this video. These are the basics of how inheritance works. And inheritance is really useful when you have really large classes and you want to reuse code from a certain class in another class. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something. If you did, if this was valuable to you, please like and subscribe to help support the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.